I have written more than 10,000 cold email campaigns in my life, and today I'm going to tell you exactly what to do and what not to do in 2024 when writing a successful cold email campaign. Now, before I get into it, it is super important to note that a successful cold email campaign has more aspect to it than just the copy, which is what I'm going to talk about today. I would argue that the most important thing is actually the infrastructure. So, where you send your emails from, where you get those domains, where you get those email accounts, how the setup is set up. I would say that this is actually the most important part of a successful cold email campaign. Unfortunately, this is also the most complicated one to nail down, just because after the Google updates now in February of 2024, the whole world of emailing has changed for not just cold emailers, but also people doing newsletters. And this is why you really gotta know how to set those parameters up, how to set the system up for you to have that really strong base. Now, the second aspect, what I'm also not going to elaborate on too much today, is the targeting. Because if you have an amazing platform and if you have an amazing cold email copy, but you're just targeting the wrong people, it means that you have a fantastic campaign that is reaching the inboxes of the wrong people. So not much convergence from there, right? But today what I'm going to talk to you about is the copy itself. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind when you're writing a cold email campaign is that, first of all, the people don't know you, so they're probably really skeptical. You haven't built their trust up yet, so they see you as almost like a threat. You're a stranger in their inbox that is probably trying to sell them something, which frankly you are trying to do, but we want to turn it around and make it like a positive thing and not a negative thing, right? But kind of requires a little bit of magic. Now, the second aspect that you need to keep in mind is that these people who you're reaching out to are likely very busy. That means that although you want to tell them about the amazing service that you have, and you want to tell them about, like all of the things that they would benefit from when working with you, it's very important to keep in mind that you don't overshare. We want to keep the email as short as possible, which is the very first aspect that I believe makes a successful cold email campaign. You want it to be as short as humanly possible. But now, for the second aspect, you want it to have value, context, and proof. Now, value is your offer. So what are you going to help them achieve when they work with you? So like what is your elevator pitch? What is your special something? And the second part is context, because when they don't understand why you're reaching out to them, then they're likely going to just be like, okay, that was a cool email, but I didn't get it. Like, what's up? So this is something that we want to avoid, obviously. What you can do to make sure that they understand why you're reaching out to them is just very simply, but also very shortly, tell them exactly why you picked them to send the email to. Why are they so special? For example, if your company, let's say, is a marketing agency working specifically with manufacturing companies, then this is exactly what you want to say in the email as well. It's like, hey, I'm reaching out because you have a manufacturing company and I've analyzed your website, I've analyzed what you do, and it seems like because we do X, then this can really specifically help you. So that's why I'm reaching out. Also, obviously don't make that long. It's just an example. Try to concise it into just one short sentence. Now, the third part is value. So really backing it up with proof as well. It's like, yeah, okay, you have this awesome offer and you have the reason why you're reaching out to them, but why would they trust you? Have you done this before? Do you have happy customers? What's up, right? So this is something that you always, always, always want to state as well. It's like, okay, we have worked with, 20 manufacturing companies before in the past, and these are the results that we have generated them. Because of all of that, I believe that we can do the same for you. Now, of course, I will keep reiterating that all the time, but make sure that it's short. There's a lot of information that you know, especially if you're the founder of a company or if you're in a leading position, you're biased and you're a bit too informed about your own company. And this is why you really want to overshare. For example, when I just started with Lead Overload, so now I'm the CEO of Lead Overload, but when I just started and when I first wrote my first campaign for Lead Overload, I just ended up making it so super long because I was like, oh my God, like we've done all of these things. Every single lead that I'm reaching out to needs to know this. No, they don't. Just pick, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your strongest case studies or your strongest testimonials or success stories. And this is enough. You do not want to overshare because it will just make the email way too long. They will get tired. They won't read it because people are terrified by big dogs, but also emails that look like a wall of text. It is a no-go. It's the same with, blog posts. You go into somebody's website and you just see a wall of text. You're not going to read it. It's the same with emails. Now, the fourth component when it comes to a successful cold email copy is the CTA, so the call to action at the end of it. What do you want them to do after they have read all of your email? Make it as short as possible and make it as low commitment as possible. An example would be are you completely opposed to hopping on a quick call about this? Or would you be remotely interested in hearing more? If this remotely interests you, reply with a let's chat. Just keep it super short. Another mistake that I heavily made when I was still starting out was that my CTA would be 2 lines long, which is way, way too long. You want to make it as short as humanly possible. 4 words, 5 words, even 2 words if you have enough context. So for example, can I is a great CTA. If you have backed it up with information before, for example, the previous sentence could be, I would love to send over some more case studies. Can I? This is also a very low commitment CTA or call to action, which means that it's easier for people to say yes. But once they have said yes already, and when you have sent them over more information about this or more case studies, then it's easier for them to actually want to talk to you after because they have seen more proof, but they've also seen that you respect them because he asked for permission, right? Now, as always, because it is 2024 and you kind of do need to add a signature to your emails if you want to stay compliant with all of the regulations of this cold email market right now, then always add a signature to your emails and an unsubscribe line. Do not use unsubscribe links ever because every link, every image, every video, everything that is not just pure text will just mess with your deliverability, and this is something that obviously we do not want, right? So a PS unsubscribe line, a perfect one would be just if this does not interest you, just say no thanks and I will not follow up. Now, this is an example of a cold email that you could write. Again, make it as short as humanly possible and make sure to follow up at least 2, 3, even 4 times, depending on your industry, depending on your offer. depending on how many case studies you actually have to share, follow-up is always, always, always key. I cannot stress it enough. The magic really always lies in the follow-up, because people are busy and they might just not see your first email. So that's it. I hope that this kind of helped a little bit. As always, if you do have any questions specifically about cold email copy or cold email overall, then just leave it down in the comments. Or if you are a business owner and you want to scale your business, then I also have our Calendly link down below. So if you want somebody who's done it before to just take over, then maybe it's good to chat. All right, I hope that you have a absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and talk soon.